welcome to this video. My name's Liz and this is Guided by Angels, and I've had a few people asking me to do one video with all the Ascension symptoms in. Now, obviously there's many Ascension symptoms on this journey, many things you go through physically and emotionally that connect you with your own journey and your person, and also with the collective energy you feel too, because when you're an empath and you're sensitive to energy, you're going to pick up on other people's feelings too. Also, if you're channeling messages, you're going to also pick up on what people may have been through when they were alive, if they've passed over, if you're connecting with them. You're going to feel many things. But as a twin flame on a twin flame journey, what I want to do is use my twin flame ascension deck. I'm going to go through this deck with you today. And we're going to talk about all the things you may possibly be experiencing right now and why. And if you would like a personal reading with me, you can reach out to me at guidedbyangelsxo@gmail.com. So this will be a great video to refer to if you go through something in the physical. Now, the first thing they're giving me, they're already channeling things through me straight away, is tooth pain. Why you have tooth pain. Now, this is a big one on the journey, okay? We can lose teeth over this. We can need to have fillings over the journey. I'm just looking for the cards so that I don't mix them up. So, teeth and gums. Why do you have issues in the teeth and gums? Why do you have tooth pain? Why do you need to go to the dentist on this journey? Or why do you feel you need to go to the dentist and then you go and there's nothing wrong? It's because decisions are being made or needed to be made. So if you're in a situation where your person needs to make a decision, or they are very back and forth in what they're doing, so perhaps they are with a karmic partner and they're coming to you and then going back to that situation, or they are back and forth in their mind about something else they need to do in their life. It could be a job they're working through something, or they're working through something they need to make a choice about. You'll have tooth pain. They're also giving me other things coming through straight away right now. The angels saying, yes, I'm so glad you're doing this video, Liz. So, teeth and gums. So, you can have issues with the teeth needing to be seen. You could have pain. You could have bleeding gums. Many things. Anything to do with the mouth is teeth and gums. Decisions to be made. The worse the problem, the more back and forth energy is taking place. Once a decision is made and finalised, the symptoms will settle down and heal. So understand that once a decision is made, the feelings you're having will go away. So if you're having tooth and gum pain, that's the reason why. And don't be surprised if you go to the dentist and there's nothing wrong. But also don't be surprised if you go to the dentist and there is something wrong and you have to have something done. Because that's happened to me on my journey. I've had to have a tooth out on this journey because of the journey. You know, years and years ago. I've been on my journey a long time. Now, the next thing they're giving me, I feel I wasn't going to do it this way. I was going to obviously go through the deck, but they're giving me the symptoms here. We're going through heart pains. The next one that's severe, that you may be experiencing a lot of the time, is heart pain or heart palpitations. So your heart may feel like it's beating faster or slowing down, or you're missing beats. Or you may just feel the anxiety and you just feel like perhaps someone's sitting on your heart, or you may feel aches in your heart. How they give me is amazing. Thank you, angels. They showed me the order to do this video in, which I find fascinating, I really do. So they show me, and this may be because of the way things come. So in other words, you experience these things in a specific order. So I'm just looking for the card connected with the ears, because that's what they're giving me after this one. So there we go, okay. So the heart, and again, can you hear that siren? That was a police car. But, you know, you may have heart pains and you may actually feel like you need an ambulance. That's how bad it can be. So I just want to get this across and say, if ever you feel like you're going through something, you need to see a doctor or you need to go to the A&E or hospital, please follow your intuition and do what's right for you. However, don't be surprised if you go to the emergency unit and they tell you there's nothing wrong with you. Or maybe you have those things put all over you and, you know, they check your heart and everything's okay. It's because you're going through ascension. So when you go through a heart feeling or anything to do with the heart, it's connected with the heart chakra. Heart chakra activation is taking place. You can even get the giving me pains in the arms. So you could even be experiencing it in the arms. And obviously heart problems create problems in the arms. So they give me arms as well. So let me just find the arms, hands and arms. There it is. So heart chakra activation is taking place. the heart is preparing, so it can open up to giving and receiving love in all its purest and many forms, simple, unconditional and true. Slow down and accept the process. So the best thing to do if you're experiencing heart issues, if you don't need to see anyone, you're thinking, I'm sure that's what it is, or you're trusting your intuition, is to slow down and to accept what's going on, to breathe, to calm your energy down and say, I am safe. So when you affirm that I am safe, and then you breathe through any discomfort. Now, it's always wise to call on Archangel Raphael and Jesus as well when you're going through physical things, even Archangel Michael for protection. But slow down, calm down, sit down. It's like the angel saying, just relax about this. There's no need to fear, because you may also go through heart pain or heart problems when you are overly anxious or overly worried about what's going on. Now, the hands and arms are kind of in sync with that, because when you have heart pain, sometimes you have problems in your arms. So when we have arms or hand issues, and hand issues could be having tingles, circulation issues, banging your arms up, cutting your fingers. And obviously I'm going to go to fingers after this, because fingers are separate. So do bear with me for the way that I'm doing this video right now. I didn't expect it to be this way, because the angels are guiding me as I go. They're telling me how to do this video and what I need to be talking about here. So let me bring the fingers in. It's just nice to give you this kind of visual aid so you can go back to it if you need to understand. It's right there. Okay, so when you go through issues like you're banging your arms up, you're banging your fingers up, you're cutting your fingers, it's because there's a need to feel. The need to feel. So arms and hands are connected with reaching out, holding, touching. And if you can't do that because you're not together, you're going to feel it even more. So problems arise in the hands and arms when feelings are repressed and we feel unable to give or reach out. So give back to yourself at this time. Massage will help. Maybe massaging your arms, or giving yourself a hand massage, or doing this. Hugging a tree, hugging a family member, hugging a child, hugging your friends. And then you feel like you're giving yourself love, or doing something loving towards yourself. And fingers represent the many different aspects of our lives and how we feel about them. So, for example, your pinky finger is connected with family and pretending, children. So if you're in a karmic situation, or they are, and you start getting issues with the fingers, the pinky finger, it's like pinky promise, it's because there's an issue with the pretending. There's a mask being worn. So if you break your finger, or you cut your finger, or it's to do with that, okay? And that's also about guilt, okay? Feeling guilty, for example, if they're still with a karmic partner, or you are, and you're feeling that, then you may get cuts and abrasions because of guilt. Okay, so the fingers are connected with different aspects of our life. So, for example, the ring finger is obvious. If they are married, or you're married, it's not really right, you're going to have issues with your ring finger. Obviously, the middle finger, what do we do when we're angry? We stick up the middle finger. So the middle finger is connected with anger. So that can be about needing to release anger, anything toxic. The forefinger, okay, this can be connected with the way you feel about things, the way you are looking at things, your mind, as well as this one, because this one is kind of like, when we do that, thumbs up. So if you're saying yes to yourself, you're going to be okay. If you're saying no to yourself, there's going to be issues. You're going to be overwhelmed with things in the mind. So thumbs in this one, really, it's about the way you process information. So when you address areas that feel wrong or off balance, it will heal cuts, knocks and abrasions. And that brings up cuts and abrasions. Cutting your toes, cutting your feet. So give me toes now. See, this is thank you, angels. I'm really impressed with how you showed me this. Toes, things like that. But, a cut, if you suddenly get a cut, you're like, you don't even know how you've done it. Perhaps you think, how have I cut my finger? Or how have I just cut myself? I don't even know how I've done it. If you've ever done that, where you've got a cut and you think you don't even know how you've done it, it's about guilt, the need to be punished for actions in the past. Forgive the self and heal. And obviously, if your person is feeling very guilty because they're perhaps with someone and they're with you, or they feel guilty about the way they've treated you or anything else, they're going to get guilt affecting their body. So they're going to have cuts and abrasions. And that can affect the toes, because toes are about minor fears around the future. So if you find that you are knocking your toe, or you trap your toe in a door, or you just knock yourself, or you drop something on your toe, whatever it is, it's because you've got minor fear around the future. That doesn't mean it's a major fear. It's something small that's affecting you. So a little fear at, what's happening next, or what's going on. So again, calming your mind will help. Trust the future is safe, guided and protected, so you can affirm that my future is safe. All is well. And that's also when you hear things. They give me the ears. So ears are connected with the way you hear your guidance, or the way you allow yourself to hear what's going on around you. So for example, if there's an issue with the ears, if your ears are hurting, there could be some arguing going on. So you're not liking what you hear. That's why so many children have ear infections if they're around arguing parents. Or if you're not liking what you're being told, if you want something to be different. Perhaps you have a reading and someone gives you a timeline and you don't like the timeline. So you may be having ear pain because of that. But really, ear chakra activation happens feeling downloads, ringing in the ears, feeling like you're underwater, because it allows you to be open to receiving the right messages in the right way at the right time. So you need to listen with love. Problems arise from not liking what's being heard. So that can cause infections, can cause blocks in the ear, like ear wax build-up, or just general pain. You can also get tingling ears, red ear, ears where, and again, I always connect with the old saying, right for spite, left for love. So if your ears are burning, someone is talking about you or thinking about you or connecting with you either in a positive or negative way. So your right ear is, you say right for spite. So someone may be angry with you or thinking about you in a negative way. Left for love. Someone is thinking about you in a very loving way. Now, this can also affect, so I'm just seeing what they're giving me now. I'm grateful they're not giving me all these symptoms, otherwise I'd be upstairs on the toilet and all kinds of things. But they're giving me now to share with you issues to do with stomach, okay? So let's connect with the stomach. All the things connecting with the stomach. Issues around the stomach. Thank you, angels. Okay, let's have a look. I'm just going through and seeing anything that's like stomach related or connected with stomach. And also I'm going to bring in burning mouth, because that can be connected with the teeth and the gums and everything as well. Look how many there are around stomach issues here. So, okay, all those cards about stomach issues. So burning mouth, maybe your mouth is burning. You just feel like it's on fire and you don't know why. Maybe it's because you have spicy food, but maybe your mouth is just not burning. It's because there may be conflict going on. So if you get a burning mouth, it's connected with arguments or conflict with others and angry words, whether you're thinking them or saying them. Take a moment to cool down and breathe before interacting with others. So burning mouth is about thinking thoughts that you perhaps don't want to think. And that also takes us to cold sores, because if you're having cold sores, and not everyone is prone to cold sores, but honestly on this journey anything is possible, they represent angry, bitter thoughts about others. So if you're being angry towards someone, whether it's your twin or karmic people or anyone, and you start feeling that tingling sensation, or even if you're saying angry things or speaking angry things or just feeling them, it's because of these bitter thoughts. So observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment to heal and understand why you feel this way and what aspect of you is needed. Because you can even say to yourself, if you're thinking about someone in general who's triggering you or making you feel angry, you can say, I'm willing to release that part of me that gets angered when I think about you. It says journaling will help. Give yourself love and attention, and journaling will help. Write down what you're going through. Now, all these are connected with the body, okay? So the first thing I've got coming through here is we'll do the bladder first, because if you're having bladder issues, like you're running to the toilet all the time for a week, number one, or you're feeling like you've got burning urine, obviously that's to do with being peed off. So if you're angry, like the bitter thoughts, you're going to have bitterness going on in the other areas. So you're going to get a strange reaction with the acid and the alkaline in your urine. So you're going to have burning, you're going to have maybe a UTI develops, or you have just a feeling like you need to go more, or something just doesn't feel right and they give me a block. And this is burping as well, which is connected with heartburn, which are giving me next, which is releasing fear, okay? So feeling peeved off, drink plenty of water to relieve symptoms and call on Archangel Raguel and Honiel to restore peace, because Archangel Honiel is the angel of peace. And that will restore peace, harmony and balance, which is what we need in the bladder, because we need to have the balance right between what's acid and alkaline, and then it's, you know, a normal flow and it feels nice. It doesn't hurt when we go. So if you're feeling peed off, angry, that can also manifest in the bladder. So just be aware of these things, because it's not nice when they come up. Now, we've also got the stomach. So the stomach is connected with fear, and it can cause all kinds of things, because the stomach is also connected with the solar plexus, which is connected with the gut instinct, the intuition. So that's what we do. We have to process things. And when we process things, we're able to digest them, which can also affect the digestive system. So when we go through stomach issues, and a lot of the masculines go through this as well, they're dealing with fear. Fear-based struggle that causes gripping pain. So there's the need to trust the gut instinct and believe in what's intuitively known to go with the flow. They're giving me the nose as well. Thank you, angels. So amazing how they show me all these things. They're giving me an itchy nose, and the nose is connected with intuition. That's why they're giving it me right now, okay? The nose, they're giving me an itchy nose, and they're giving me the feeling of gas, okay? Which is coming next. So the nose, it says, so this says to you, when you have stomach problems or stomach pain, you need to intuitively trust what you know in your gut instinct. Believe what's intuitively known, and the nose knows. So you may even have an itchy nose. You may start doing this, or maybe your nose starts running or blocking. Trust your intuition. The nose senses the truth. When the intuition is blocked, the nose will block or run until the truth is revealed. So again, there can be issues with the nose, which can also cause, thank you angels, which can also cause sneezing. Because when we sneeze, it's releasing fear quickly around doing something wrong or making a mistake. Fears around not being recognised or appreciated because of a silly mistake. Realise there are no mistakes and all is well. So if you find you're sneezing, you don't know why, you can affirm everything is working out beautifully in this moment, which it is. Now, if you're sneezing, see how they're guiding me to these. If you're sneezing, you could also have a cold. You could be feeling like you've got flu, which can also bring other symptoms in, okay, which I'm being guided to right now. Let me just grab these. And it can bring through other feelings, okay? Let's just check there's no others there. Yeah, these ones as well. And that can affect the throat as well. We'll do that after. So, you know, you can feel like you've got a cold. So if you feel like you're sneezing, you may just be sneezing, you don't know why. You've got no cold, you feel okay. And it's because of fear of making a mistake, or they feel that way and you're picking up on and sensing that. Other times it can be because you've got a cold or flu. And if you've got that, you're going through an upgrade. Your body is preparing for the next stage of your journey. You're getting ready for something brand new. So it's the energy preparing within you. So cold and flu-like symptoms, whatever you call them, is you preparing for new energy, which is upgrading you so you can create a more optimistic, positive perception and spiritually based mindset. Unplugging from society, programming, conditioning, negative beliefs in the 3D world will help. And you know how it is when you got a cold. When you've got a cold or you're feeling ill, you don't want to do anything. You just want to switch off, unplug. Sometimes you don't even feel well enough to look at your phone. So you have a break. Now, if you have a cold, it can also make you feel cold. So you can have a feeling like you just, you know, like which causes fever and aches, which I've got here as well. You can have hot and cold, but we'll start with the cold. So if you're feeling cold, and this can be when you've got flu or when you're just feeling cold. You may just feel cold and you're like, I don't understand, the heating's on. Yeah, I just don't understand why I feel cold. It's because you're craving warmth, you're craving love, you're craving romance, you're craving their energy. So obviously the way that you fill up your own cup and deal with that craving is through self-love. But it says bitter thoughts. So again, bitter thoughts, remember, can create cold sores. Feeling scorned, which means you feel betrayed. So you may also feel you're having bladder issues because you peed off. Create inner warmth through gratitude, forgiveness, and self-love. Now, it can go the other way and you may feel the heat in the body. So if you're feeling hot and bothered, again, you don't know why, unless you're on menopause like I am, perimenopause. But even still, there's a reason for everything. You're feeling hot, bothered. It's the heat, the chemistry, the tension between you, the ass energy, the need, the ass tension, the ass desire. It's all reciprocated and you're feeling it in the body. So if you're feeling feverish with aches and pains, if you're having perhaps a mix of these, the fever again is the desire. Remember that song by Madonna? You give me fever, okay, or whoever it's by. Because you're burning with passion and desire that longs to be expressed. Maybe you burn yourself, you burn your fingers, or you have a burn on your arms or your hands. It's because you want to express this love. Repressed desire creates anger and rage that burns deep within, so focus on peace. So again, heat and fever can be connected with burns. Scolding yourself, telling yourself off in your mind, being angry at yourself. And that can create aches because you're aching for something or someone. So you may be aching for them. You may be aching for a change or something to happen. So give to yourself what you crave or need from another, and then you won't feel it this way. Now, the stomach can also cause gas, which means you're burping or you are, you're belching or you are releasing flatulence. So the desire if you have gas, okay, and gas really is about the other way. So, we call it farting. You're farting or you have flatulence. It's the desire to create without the motivation or courage to act on it. So a lot of the time, the masculines will have this because they want to do something differently. It could even be they want to change their job or they want to do their life differently, but they have too much fear. They don't have the motivation to act on their truth, and that's why the nose can cause problems and all of that. But when they're holding themselves back, fear around not having enough time or it's too late, they'll start having gas issues and they'll be farting all the time because they're being guided to do it now. So if you find that, we wonder why, or maybe you're doing that and you're wondering why, that's the reason why. And they're giving me something else here. So obviously we've got the burping. Okay, the burping. Have I done a card for burping? Surely I have. If I've got it here. Yeah, belching. I was like, where is the card? I was thinking it's not burping, it's belching. Because this is the other way. So gas is out of the back end. Belching is out of the front end. So we're releasing fear from deep within. So if you keep burping, it's because your solar plexus is expelling fear. And it's a good thing. The solar plexus creates a physical reaction that is expressed as a burp when something feels off or not right. Let it be released and acknowledged without embarrassment. So don't be embarrassed. When I'm doing Q&As or I'm doing a reading, I will burp because I'm channeling fear and that fear has been released. So I don't get embarrassed about it because it's just part of the way that I channel the messages. So if you're burping, don't worry, just think, why am I doing this? What is this showing me? Now, that can also be heartburn because heartburn may make you feel like you can't belch and it's all against stuck fear. So fear is stuck, it needs to be released. But it can also be caused by resentment. Resentment towards others. So it could be towards the karmic partner or a family member or even your twin or even towards yourself. So you must release the pent-up energy through repeated screaming to clear it out. Now, recently the angels have also said, if you can't scream because perhaps you're thinking, I don't want to scream because it'll alert my neighbours, everyone will think I'm dying or something's going on and being murdered in the house. Instead of screaming, sing. Sing out loud, sing. And it will help you to release the energy inside. So singing will also help. So singing, screaming will assist you. And then you'll feel this area clearing. And you'll be able to breathe again. So again, this can also affect the throat. But we'll do the throat in a moment because there's other things there. They're showing me this can also affect, if I bring it through here, let me find it, the lungs. Because you feel like you can't breathe. So if you feel like you can't breathe when you've got heartburn, and I know how that feels, because I went through this on my journey years ago, I had severe heartburn. The only thing that cleared it up was scream therapy. You feel like you can't breathe. So also that affects the lungs. So the lungs are feeling trapped in a situation. So it's very likely if they feel trapped in a karmic situation, they're going to have trouble breathing. And that can also lead to things like pneumonia. If it doesn't get sorted out, it can lead to things like emphysema. Doesn't matter whether they smoke or not, these things can develop. It could be going through, is it called CPD or something like, bad things that they deal with in the chest issues. So feeling trapped in a situation, they're finding it hard to breathe, or maybe you are feeling controlled by another person or by circumstances. Rise up and breathe in life. It's your birthright to experience all the magic that life has to offer you. So accept it and take back your freedom. So if they feel trapped in their situation, they're going to get trapped wind, gas, they're going to get burping, and they're going to get feeling like they can't breathe. Now that can affect everything anyway. So the stomach, for example, causes cramps. So the processing things, digesting information, if that information they don't like, if they process it, I know I need to leave this situation, don't like it, but I know I need to, don't like change, but I know I need to, then they may get stomach cramps. The need to release fear and struggle in exchange for peace. So the way that you heal stomach cramps is through acceptance, which settles the stomach. So you might think, oh, I'm going to have an Alka-Seltzer or going to have some kind of medicine, but it's accepting things that really brings in the physical healing. Now, stomach cramps can cause constipation. So you may feel like you can't go the loo at all. And that may be because you've got lots of gas, or maybe you can't even expel that gas because you're going through constipation. So constipation is fear of letting go. When my mum was in hospital, I had my mum was passed now, but she was in hospital for a long, long time. And I had bouts of constipation and diarrhea because the constipation was the fear of letting it go, and the diarrhea is releasing anything that needs to heal or go. So constipation is fear of letting go, being in constant control, trying to control something. So if they are trying to control their circumstances, very likely they're dealing with constipation. Trust the flow of your life to regulate things again and affirm there is always a plan. So when you're not trusting the plan, you could get constipated. And it can go the other way because we've got diarrhea. But before I do that, we've got bloating. Feeling unloved. If you're feeling bloated, you just feel bloated. It could be you feel constipated, you feel bloated. For us ladies, we may be going through time of the month, whatever it is. It's because you're feeling unloved, picked on and bullied. Take back your power and remember that you are strong, powerful and beautiful, and you deserve the world. So if you feel bloated in any way, you can affirm, I am valuable. I am valued and respected. I am valuable, and that will heal. Especially if you're carrying around excess weight, you're thinking, I want to release this weight. I feel like I've put weight on, no matter what diet I go on or what I do, I can't shift it. It's a comfort blanket. So when you understand that really what you're craving is safety and protection, and you can call on Archangel Michael to assist with that. If you shield yourself from heavy energies and affirm, I am safe and protected, all is well in my world, then you can release that weight very easily because it's really a comfort blanket. So instead of trying to shield yourself with weight, shield yourself or body fat, shield yourself with Archangel Michael, and that bloating or that excess weight will fall away. That happened to me when my dad died in 2000. And obviously back then I didn't really understand what was going on, but I started eating anything I could get my hands on. And the reason why was because I was trying to create a comfort blanket because I'd lost my dad, I didn't know how to handle it. And when I finally realised what I was doing, the weight dropped off within a month. And I'd gone up like 3 dress sizes. It was horrendous how I put that weight on. But it was all from not being able to process my grief. Interesting. Now, when you've got stomach ache or problems or you're going through these things, it can cause vomiting, it can cause diarrhea. So we'll start with diarrhea first. So diarrhea is when your body is expelling something, releasing toxins and negative beliefs. So if you've got diarrhea, try not to have anything to stop it if you can, because it needs to be out of your system. So you're purging away psychic attack. If you feel you're being attacked psychically, you may have diarrhea. Or if you feel like you just need to release something bad that's going on, you may have diarrhea. So you're releasing fears of abandonment, forgiveness of betrayal, letting go of what needs to go. And it's the same with vomiting. Vomiting is an immediate gut reaction to fear, rejecting what's being experienced because of fear. Breathe and respond with love, not fear. Breath work will help the nausea to pass, because you may also get nausea, which is the next card. And this is also, if you think about vomiting, you may think about let me just find this nausea card. I'm sure I've got a nausea card in here somewhere. Is that nausea? I'm sure I've got, it's vertigo, here we go. I knew it was one of them. So, and I created this deck a while ago, but I know it like the back of my hand because these symptoms are, what I channel all the time. So think about vomiting. You might think about someone who's possessed vomiting, like in The Exorcist. And because it's the gut reaction to fear, so, the body is trying to repel anything negative there, which is when you feel you're being attacked psychically or anything like that. You may be sick, or you have something like a shock, you get a shock, you throw up, or you have diarrhea. And that can create vertigo. So you can just feel nauseous. You may not throw up, but you may feel dizzy, a bit sick, nauseous. So nausea and dizziness is caused by sudden change, movement and lack of direction. So if there's sudden movement or sudden change, or suddenly you change direction, or there's a lack of direction, you don't know what to do, you may feel dizzy. So breathe and center yourself to gain clarity and peace. And that can also cause neck issues, because the neck is also connected with change. So if I find the neck here, so neck is about change, because when you have neck pain, if you're feeling stuck in old ways and patterns of behaviour, or you're feeling, oh, they're stuck, never going to change, or they've told me they're never going to change, the pain you're experiencing, if you start getting neck pain, is a sign of the change that's taking place. So they may be saying, oh, I'm never going to change, but they are already. So replacing stuck thinking with a new plan, becoming flexible and adaptable to change. So it's a good thing if you're having the neck pain, if you feel that things are stuck in your life, because you are changing things. Now, they're also giving me, let's do the throat, because the throat is connected with issues around communication, as you know, the throat chakra. So there's a need to express yourself and clear the air when you've got throat issues, and that can affect the voice, because you may lose your voice. So voice problems are caused by feeling misunderstood, unheard, or being unable to speak the truth. So a good thing to do if you feel you can't communicate, perhaps you're blocked and you can't tell them how you feel, or you feel like they haven't heard you, and that's another reason you can lose your voice. Write down thoughts and feelings until communication is restored. What this reminds me of is one of my favourite shows of all time is Buffy and Angel. But in Buffy, there's an episode in Buffy where one of the girls, she doesn't feel seen. She doesn't feel seen by anyone. Obviously, it's a supernatural show. So because she isn't feeling seen, she's trying to talk to people, she feels ignored by even the teachers at school. She becomes invisible. She actually turns invisible. Okay, and then she gets very bitter from that, and she starts causing problems, and Buffy has to save the day. But the point I'm making is, if you feel invisible, if you feel you're not being heard or seen, it can affect your voice and your throat chakra. And that can also perhaps make you feel a bit numb. So, your ego is perhaps saying, then what's the point? What's the point if I'm not heard? What's the point if I'm not seen? So if you feel like life has no meaning, or you feel numb, or maybe you're using substances to numb yourself like alcohol or addictive things, focus on gratitude and focus on your blessings to feel alive, and affirm, my life matters, I matter, and journal down your feelings. Now, you may also be having issues with the back, because the back is connected with worries and concerns over stability and the future. So trust that God is your source, God is your true bread from heaven. That's where your true bread comes from. And your life is divinely guided and protected. So if you're having back issues, understand that you are protected and safe. You're going to be okay. Because very likely if you're having back pain, you're worried about something. You're worried about the future. You're worried about stability. So if you're having upper back pain, this can be because you're feeling unloved and unsupported. So again, this can affect the throat chakra. It can make you put weight on, like we've said about excess weight or bloating. So you're craving love and approval from the outside world. You're wanting validation. So you get upper back pain if they're not communicating. If you're wanting them to tell you they love you, you get pain around here, which can also affect the shoulders. So if you're craving love and attention from the outside world or others to feel safe and complete, understand that your true connection with self and source is all that you need. It's all that's required. And only approval that you'll ever need comes from inside you and above you. So instead of trying to get approval from others by posting pictures on social media and waiting for likes or comments or waiting for them to reach out, validate yourself. Connect with God. That's where your true power comes from. especially if you're going through shoulder pain, because shoulders are connected with feeling burdened, feeling like you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders. So feeling overwhelmed and weighed down by burdens, carrying around the weight of the world, cut cords of fear and give any struggle to heaven to find a release. So if you're feeling like you've got shoulder pain, it's like, Jesus carrying the cross, and he was carrying all the world's sins on his shoulders there. And even though he knew he was going to be crucified, he was grateful when he put the cross down. So if you're having shoulder pain, give your concerns to heaven. If you're having middle back pain, it's connected with guilt. Guilt over the past. And again, remember, that can cause cuts and abrasions. The need to forgive the self and let it go for good. St. Peter can help. Now, the reason why I want to channel this that St. Peter came through is because Peter denied Jesus. And to him, that was the ultimate betrayal. So even though Judas betrayed him in perhaps a far bigger way, by actually leading to his death, it was worse for Peter in his mind, because I betrayed him, I acted like I didn't know him, I denied him. So perhaps your masculine has been denying you, denying the feelings, saying they don't care, and that's such a big betrayal, it will create middle back pain. So St. Peter will help to forgive the past. And also we've got lower back pain, which is connected with finances. So financial concerns and fears around money. So if you're having worries about work or money, or you're in debt, or there's struggles, you're going to get lower back pain. The desire for more is healthy. The feeling of lack is not. So use affirmations that you have enough, like I am rich in all things, or money flows to me easily and effortlessly, or I have plenty of everything, or my bank account is thriving, or whatever it is, or my career is stable. I love the work that I do. Things that help you to feel at peace with the process of your life. Now, what else do we need to connect with? I'm just seeing what they want me to channel in next. They give me headache, so give me the feeling of pressure. So headache is pressure. Head pressure caused by inner noise and too much going on at once. So if you've got a headache, you've got too much going on. You're worried. It can also affect your sleep, which I'm going to connect with as well. Okay, it can affect your sleep, it can affect all kinds of things. You feel tired then, you get insomnia. So pressure is caused by inner noise and too much going on at once. So if you have a headache, slow down. Obviously do things like drink more water, relax. But if you gain clarity and calm through quiet time and isolation, you're going to feel better. Especially if you feel tired, you can't sleep, and it's affecting your job. So if you have fatigue, fatigue, and again, fatigue can connect with the overwhelming feeling of putting on weight, or feeling like you're not enough. You could be feeling overworked, frustrated, or bored. And obviously when you're bored or frustrated, you can overeat, which can cause excess fat, which we spoke about. So if you feel this way, if you feel tired, drained, it may be the need for time off or a rest. Now this can also mean having time off work, but it could mean you just need to shut your phone down, or you just need to go for a walk, or you just need to stop worrying about everything, the journey and everything. It says replenish yourself so you have more energy to plan new adventures. So you may also think, oh, it's time for a holiday, or I want to go and experience something new. You may also be experiencing insomnia because your mind is so busy, it's creating the inability to relax and calm down. So you lie awake, you're restless. This can also affect your legs, because you can get restless leg syndrome. So lack of sleep causes irritability and bouts of anger and rage. So use essential oils like lavender in a relaxing bath to induce a calm and relaxing sleep, or maybe put some lavender essence on your pillow, or call an Archangel Honiel, or perhaps do some meditation or breath work. And it can affect your legs, because you can get restless legs if you've got insomnia, or you're an insomniac, or you can't sleep. Or if you've got leg issues in general, you may have fears around moving forward or feeling stuck in one place. So you just need to take it one step at a time. And legs can also be connected with veins, because if there's vein issues, maybe you've got veins on the legs, or you've got veins, it's the flow of joy and passion that circulates within life. So if you're feeling like all the joy and passion has been sucked out of your life, you may get circulation issues, or you may get issues with the veins sticking out or standing out. Problems occur when there is stress related to a situation that feels hard and it's no longer serving the self or the divine connection. Changes need to be made. Focus on bringing more joy and passion into your life and doing what you love, because if you have issues in the veins, it can affect blood flow. It can affect, So you get cold feet or cold hands, or you start having problems that lead to heart attack and issues with the blood flow. Now, if you have issues with blood flow, you could also faint. Okay, so if you faint, it's like you've had enough of life, the desire to escape reality for a while. Look at life with love, not fear, and start to enjoy life again through fresh eyes. So really, if you faint, it's because you're seeking attention and love. It's not like you are an attention seeker and you're wanting to faint to get someone's attention. It's just the way the body is saying, help me, or I need to be seen. It's another way. It's all connected here. Now, you may even have a migraine because you're having headache, and migraine is caused by delusional fears, overthinking, stress. So unbearable pain caused by delusional fears about separation that can disrupt the brain. Breath work, meditation and sleep will reset things like a factory reset restores a mobile phone. And obviously, if you're having a migraine problem, you may be having issues with your brain itself. You may feel like your brain is overworking. So brain is the way we store and process information. It's like our computer system. So we go through illumination through the crown chakra, which can also change beliefs and how the body and mind operate. So if you fight these changes, it can lead to pain and disease in the brain, which can cause to a migraine, could cause to tumours, it could cause fainting, other things. It can also cause itching, because you can itch when you are wanting change, or you can itch when you're going through tiredness as well. So if you need to break free, or you feel they need to break free, give me fear then. There's fears around breaking free of a situation or taking charge of your life. It can make you feel trapped and craving change in your life. Then it can cause itchy neck, itchy body. So choose peace in the moment. They give me a lot of fear around when I'm connecting with this itching. Choose peace in the moment to visualize the life you want to love. We can even get hair loss or hair growth, because hair loss is about stress. Okay, people lose their hair when they're stressed out, or they go through a bereavement, or you can lose someone on this journey and feel really bad about it. You can start having issues with your hair. So there's a need to release the past and start again. So also, hair loss isn't just about losing your hair. You may feel like you suddenly want to cut all your hair off, or have a shave if you're a guy, or you want to, just start again with your look or something like that. So you're realising that beauty is inside and outside, and nothing is amiss. Nothing is amiss. So if you're having issues with hair loss, accept yourself as you are and know you are you. If you're finding your hair is growing, or you want to suddenly grow your hair back, you're feeling stronger, you're feeling healed, you're ready to begin again. And if you ever noticed that, I have on my journey, when I've gone through a loss, I've cut my hair. When I felt like I'm healed and stronger, I want to grow it back again. Interesting. Now, there can also be issues with the eyes, because the eyes see everything. You've got the third eye as well. But the eyes, the physical eyes, see everything. So if you're not liking what you're seeing in your physical reality, in the physical world around you, it can cause eye issues like runny eyes, grit in the eye, pain in the eyes. You may get eye issues and have to go to the optician. Your sight may start being distorted. So choose to see things with the eyes of love, not fear, and face what needs to be changed to bring back beauty into your life. Because when you're loving what you're looking at, you're loving your environment, you're loving what you're doing, your eyes will get healthier and brighter. And your third eye as well is opening. So with the third eye, we have the ability, and this is this area here, so it can also cause tension headaches. So the ability to see past the physical reality and experience life in a new way, to see the unseen, to see past the pain and understand life from a higher perspective. Pain occurs when there is a block. So Archangel Raziel, the psychic angel, will give you courage to see what your heart already knows. So if you're having issues because the third eye is blocked, it's because you may be afraid of what you're going to see or what you're going to be shown. So Archangel Raziel, the psychic angel, will help you to feel free. Also, Archangel Azrael, who connects you with the other side, will help you if you're trying to connect with spirit and you're blocking it because you're afraid. And obviously, Archangel Michael will give you strength in all ways. Now, these are really all connected because these are all joints, okay? So I can see why the angels have left this for last. Interesting how they've done this. Thank you, angels. Very powerful. So, joints and muscles. When you have issues with your joints or your muscles, you have a need to take action and take charge. says exercise, movement and massage will stimulate the required change. So for example, if your person isn't moving forward, they're going to get knee issues because the knees are about movement, connected with movement and flow. They could get leg issues. Be flexible and adaptable to the flow of the journey and move forward with ease and grace and the knowledge that all is well and you are safe. And again, they could get leg issues, vein issues, they could get feet issues, toes, and we've got hips here as well. So if there's hip issues, say if someone breaks the hip or they bang the hip, I've done that before, I've banged my hip up before. Okay, it's because there's a need for balance and alignment within the connection with both the masculine and the feminine energies within the self and within the connection itself. Hip problems occur when the energy of giving and receiving is out of balance and the energy is depleted. So give back to the self because that restores harmony and inner balance. And again, if you're having hip issues and things don't feel balanced, you may get bladder issues or anything else. And that brings us to the last one, which is the ankle, which is the Achilles heel, which is the weak spot. Feeling powerless and vulnerable, like something or someone has power over you. This is illusion. The only power that a person has of you, or the only person with that kind of power in your life is you. Take back your power and remember who you are. Rise like the warrior that you are and embrace your wonderful life. And you may even see butterflies and you can affirm, I love my wonderful life. You know, when I do my affirmations, I start my affirmation off by saying, I love my life. I love my wonderful life. Because when you love your life, everything feels balanced and better. And you know you're in control. So I hope that helps. First time I've gone through this entire deck. And there will be other physical things you go through as well. You know, maybe you get you maybe get dry lips. It's because you want to kiss them. You know, or maybe you feel like you've got bruised lips. It's because you can feel them kissing you. Or you may get scratch marks. Like not long ago, so if you can still see the marks there, I actually cut myself in 2 places. And it's scarred a little bit there. But it was like a vampire bite. And it was the universe showing me, you know, my twin at the time was sucking my energy dry. It wasn't his fault. It was what I was allowing to happen. So you'll get shown many, many things along the way. And you have to trust. Now, if you want further information, there's also a great book by Louise L. Hay. Let me see if I can find it, because I never use this, but Heal Your Body by Louise Hay. And this got every single physical thing you go through, the spiritual reason why, and how to overcome it with an affirmation. So that's a really great book, Heal Your Body. There's also a bigger version called You Can Heal Your Life. And you can connect with, you know, tools like that too. Or, you know, just channeling information through the angels, asking them to show you. But I hope that helps and gives you a bit more insight into what you may be going through physically and why, and how to help yourself get better. But as I said, as always, if you feel you need to see a doctor or an optician or a chiropodist or, you know, a specialist in any field in your body, then do that as well for peace of mind. I hope this helps. Have a great day and I'll see you soon.